loves, welcome back to another planting video. So today I'm going to show you guys how to water propagate plants. I have these two right here that I'm actually propagating at the moment, so I just wanted to show you guys what they look in water. So propagating plants is a good thing because that way you get more plants out of the ones that you have already, and you have more babies, and that way I don't have to go and spend more money on more plants. So the stuff that you're gonna need before we start getting into cuttings is gonna be a jar. I'm using this jar right here. I would recommend a clear one because it's nicer to see the root system once it starts forming. And then of course you're gonna need some scissors. I'm just using these kind. And you're also going to need some rubbing alcohol because you want to disinfect your scissors. You just don't want to put any bacteria or anything that is on your scissors on the cutting of your plant, because then that could damage your plant later on. So I'm just going to clean my scissors. So now let's start doing our cuttings. So I'm gonna do a cutting of my Monstera Addisonea. This is how it looks. And I'm gonna do a top cutting right here because this is already sticky now. And where you wanna cut where there's a node. So you guys can see it right here sticking out. This is a node right there. My camera for some reason doesn't wanna focus, but basically this is a node right here. So you want to cut below there because the roots is going to come out right here. So I'm just going to cut right here. So I already did one cutting, and this one actually has a leaf that is already going to come out soon. So I'm going to do this cutting right here. And there's the node. And I'm just going to cut right here. So that way when I have roots on these cuttings, it will be a little bit more fuller plant that I could make, which is probably gonna have like 5 leaves. Sometimes more leaves come out even when I'm propagating it in water, so it might have more leaves, but for now it's probably gonna have like 5 leaves. And here's my jar with water. So I'm just gonna put them in here. And it's gonna start rooting. It does take a couple weeks. Sometimes it could take a couple months. Right now, since we are in the growing season, which is summer, it might root a little bit faster. I also do try to change the water at least once a week or every 2 weeks, because the water you are gonna see, like, it gets really like green on the bottom and just gets nasty. You don't necessarily have to change the water, but I just like to change it just to make sure it has clean water while the roots are coming. Okay, so I'm done with this one. I'm going to show you guys the other plants that I'm also going to be cuttings from. So the next plant that I'm going to be doing cuttings from is going to be this plant right here, which is a string of bananas. And this is how long she is. She's super long. But as you guys could kind of tell on the top, she's not that full, so I want to make her more full, and that's why I'm going to do some cuttings from the bottom. And also because once you get to the bottom, it doesn't get as much of sun in the bottom. So the bananas are super skinny. They're not as full as the ones on the top. See, the ones on the top, they're a little bit more fuller because they get more sunlight. So that's why I'm going to be cutting, I think maybe like right here, and then I'm gonna propagate all of that. So in a string of bananas or string of pearls, I think any plant that is like a string of something, like string of hearts, the way you find the nodes is you have to remove one of the, I guess you could say, the leaves. So for example, on this one I will have to remove one of the bananas to get the node. So you see, like right here, it's kind of hard to zoom in, but there's a node right there. So there usually behind the leaf. I like to remove 2 of them just so I get more roots out of it. So I'm just gonna remove these 2. So I'm just gonna put it in water. Also, just make sure that where you cut the top, so here's where I cut, that's what you put in the water. So it just kind of grows the right way, how it's supposed to. Look how this one looks so pretty in the jar. Kind of looks like hair just, I don't know, dangling. It looks so cute. So I'm gonna do one more cutting, and this one is gonna be from my pothos. Pothos is like the easiest plant to propagate because it just grows really fast and you could just do so many cuttings out of a pothos. So I'm only gonna do one cutting. I could honestly do more from this vine. As you guys could tell, it's kind of long, but I only need one cutting. I don't need that much, and I'll show you guys why, because I already have a pothos propagating, but it just doesn't seem as full as I want her to be. You can see the nodes right away in a pothos. See, there's one right here, there's one right there. That's why I love pothos, because they're like the easiest plant to take care of, and you could just get so many cuttings from it. So I'm actually gonna do 2 cuttings, which is gonna be, I'm gonna cut this vine right here, this piece. So I'm just gonna cut from here. And from this one, there's actually a new leaf that is coming now, as you guys could tell. And I'm gonna do 2 cuttings from here because there's 2 nodes. So I'm just gonna cut right here. Here in the middle. And now I have 2, and I'll show you guys where I'm gonna put them. So this is the other pothos that I was telling you guys, the other cutting that I have. And as you guys could tell, there's already roots on here. And there is a little bit of soil because I actually did pot this plant. There used to be 2 long cuttings, the same size as this one. But for some reason it didn't grab. I don't know what happened. I think the soil didn't have enough drainage, or where I put it, because I did put this plant in my room and there's not enough light. I don't know, but something happened that it started dying. Like the roots just got root rot, and the other vine just kind of started dying. So I just got rid of it, and I just put her back in water here. So I think this cuttings, I'm gonna keep them in water because pothos could also survive in water and still keep on growing. As you guys can see, there's a new leaf coming out already. So that's what I'm gonna do, and that's why I wanted to do a couple little bit more cuttings so it gets a little bit fuller here on the top. So I'm just gonna put these here. And this one is, the stem is a little bit too big, so I'm just gonna cut it a little bit. There you go. So it makes it a little bit more fuller on the top. So now you want to place your cuttings somewhere where it gets a lot of indirect sunlight. You don't want to place it where it gets direct sun, because it's going to burn your leaves, especially since they are so sensitive right now because they don't have no roots whatsoever. So right now I just place it here, which is like right next to my window, and it's actually getting a lot of indirect sunlight. And I just keep them there. You could also put it under grow lights. I think maybe under a grow light it will grow the roots a little bit faster. I noticed that, so that's another option. And that's it, guys. That's how you propagate plants into water. So I will check back with you guys in a couple weeks once there's enough roots to put them in soil. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, my loves.